Hello, 5-1 Orange Group. Mr. Waterman here with today's Language Arts lesson on Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. I hope everyone is safe and well, and you've had a great day studying. Let's get started. Okay, last week you had a test that started on page 157 and it finished on page 160. So we are going to go over the answers to the first part of the test first, which was on comparing with good and bad. Okay? If you've completed the test, please check your answers with a red pen and make any corrections necessary. Okay? If you have not taken this test yet, pause this video, take the test. When you're finished, then you can check your answers, okay? So for part A, on page 157, you needed to circle the letter of the adjective and write the adjective in the blank that completed the sentence correctly. 1. C. It was the best day of Ana Rosa's life. 2. B. Angela is a better helper than Roberto. 3. The story would have been A. Worse if Senora Perez had written it. 4. B. Tourist season is worse than summer. 5. C. Whales are better swimmers than penguins. 6. The wind was worse in the evening. A. Now we go on to part B. For part B, you needed to circle the letter of the proper adjective in each sentence. 7. B. The American tourist enjoyed seeing the whales in Sosua Bay. American is a proper adjective. 8. C. Humpback whales inhabit Atlantic waters. Atlantic is the proper adjective. 9. The greenery tree is a South American plant. A. South American is the proper adjective. It's describing South America. 10. B. The Caribbean islands have tropical climates. Caribbean is the proper adjective. Once you have checked all of your answers, please turn the page to page 158. On page 158, you needed to read the letter and you had to rewrite it on the lines provided. You needed to look for forms of the adjectives good and bad, and you had to make sure that all proper adjectives were capitalized. Please listen as I read the corrected letter. Dear Ana Rosa, how are you? Is your writing getting better? So I circled gooder as a mistake and changed it to better. I am sure that with practice, you will become one of the best South American writers. I put an X through most, and then I capitalized the S and the A in South American. Does Roberto have a worse cold than he had last winter? I put an X through more. We didn't need it. Please tell me when would be the best time for me to visit? Bestis is the mistake that I circled. Your brother, Wario. And there you go. Everything has been corrected. Now, let's look at the last 2 pages of the test. This was a unit test on adjectives. For page 159, you needed to read the passage and choose the word or group of words that belongs in each space. You had to fill in the circle beside your answer. 1. B. On April 24th, 1916, Ernest Shackleton took 5 members of his crew and set sail for South Georgia Island. The men faced strong winds and bitter temperatures as they struggled to reach their goal. 2. H. When they finally got to the island, the exhausted sailors realized that they had landed on the opposite side from the whaling station. 3. C. Wesley grew a crop of dense, tall plants. It provided shelter not only for animals and insects, but also for Wesley himself. In fact, number 4, F. In fact, Wesley could sit in the shade of the plants and enjoy their splendid fruit. The fruit was purple and juicy. Studying plants and animals is the way that humans learn from nature. Lewis and Clark were probably exhausted on their expedition, but they still observed nature. 5. B. 6. H. They wrote about rugged mountains and vast plains. Okay, so these were all adjectives we had used in earlier activities. Let's look at the last page of the test on page 160. Seven, B. During the war, the military decided to use the Navajo language because it would be the most difficult code to break. To do this, the military had to seek out Navajo soldiers. 8. G. These soldiers underwent more demanding training than many others. Last paragraph. Ana Rosa loved to sit high in her gree-gree tree. 9. A. She thought that it was the best place to daydream and think up stories. Her brother, Wario, complained that she was not thinking enough about her future. 10. F. But Ana Rosa believed that worrying was worse than daydreaming. And that's it. Once you've checked all of your answers for the test, please turn to page 161. We are working on pages 161 and 162 today. Please listen as I read the 2 points. We are now working with adverbs. Okay? Point number 1. An adverb is a word that tells more about a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. For example, Mr. Waterman speaks slowly when he is making videos. Slowly is my adverb. It's describing the verb speaks. Point number 2. An adverb can tell how, when, or where an action takes place. Please remember these are important points. How, when, or where. Now let's look at the directions. Underline the adverb in each sentence. On the line, write whether the adverb describes how, when, or where. Let's have a look. 1. Alexei walked slowly through the woods. 2. The golden mare left early to reach the lake of the sun. 3. Angry at the Tsar's words, Alexei trembled inside, shaking. 4. The golden mare galloped rapidly through the forest. Just in case you haven't figured it out yet, a mare is a horse. Okay? 5. The firebird cried softly in its cage. 6. He hunted late into the night. 7. The Tsar treated the firebird cruelly. 8. The firebird flew high into the sky. 9. Alexei and Yelena, the fair, were happily married. 10. Alexei and the golden mare always remained friends. And now I shall do a few of the examples with you. Starting with number 1. Alexei walked slowly through the woods. My adverb is slowly. Slowly is describing how Alexei was walking. 2. The golden mare left early to reach the lake of the sun. Early is my adverb. It describes when the golden mare left. Okay? Before I do number 3, this is just a reminder. I'm going to make my own point and put it here. Point 3. Not all adverbs end in ly. You're going to find out. Number 3. Angry at the Tsar's words, Alexei trembled inside. Do you think you know which one of these is the adverb? I'll give you 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The adverb is inside because it is describing where Alexei trembled. Okay? Now, please do numbers 4 through 10 on your own. When you are finished, please turn the page. Please remember this point. An adverb can describe a verb. It can also describe an adjective or another adverb. Let's look at the directions. In these sentences, the adverbs describe verbs, adverbs, or adjectives. Underline each adverb. Some sentences contain more than one adverb. Please listen to the sentences. 1. The golden mare spoke quietly. 2. Yelena the fair realized that she would be in danger very soon. 3. The Tsar was terribly angry about Alexei's success. 4. The lake of the sun shone brilliantly in the morning. 5. The water of youth began to boil very quickly. Let's do one together. The golden mare spoke quietly. My adverb is quietly. Let's underline it. Okay? Please do numbers 2 through 5 on your own. Now let's look at the next part. Complete each sentence with an adverb that describes the underlined word. Choose from the adverbs in the box. Let's read the adverbs. Almost, very, completely, finally, quite, rather, too. Now I will read the sentences. 6. The Tsar acted blank greedily. 7. They poured water into the iron pot until it was blank full. 8. The ship moved blank gracefully across the water. 9. Alexei stayed awake blank late at night. 10. Alexei and the golden mare defeated the Tsar. Okay? So for a few of these, there will be only one adverb that you can choose. But for some, you can play around, and I will accept more than one answer as long as it makes sense. Okay? Let's do number 6. The Tsar acted, and I'm going to use quite greedily. You know, if you are doing something greedily, right, you want it all for yourself and you don't want to share. So quite greedily is another way to say very greedily. Very would have worked also. Okay? Please do numbers 7 through 10 on your own. And that's it for today's lesson, students. Please remember, if you have any questions, to email Mr. Waterman. For those of you who have been sending work in consistently each week, thank you very much for that. Always remember, sending me some work is better than sending me no work at all. Take care, stay safe and well, enjoy the rest of your day studying, and I will see you all in the next videos. Take care. Bye-bye for now.